I am Joe Ehizode. Welcome to Platform Media International Political Arena. In the face of mounting opposition against the federal government of Nigeria, for some they call it restructuring, for some they call it secession. I'm here in the studio with my very good friend Ebenezer Badewa to discuss the problems in Nigeria as it relates to the practice of federalism. Federalism as it is, as it's practiced in Nigeria, whether it is the one that is giving the cause of agitation or the call of secession. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, like I said in the introduction, and everywhere in Nigeria is very restive right now, especially in the southeast and again in the northeast. In the northeast, you have Boko Haram. Again, that is a religious agitation. In the southeast, we have indigenous people of Biafra asking, the leader is saying it's secession, they want a Biafra state or Biafra nation. Some say it's restructuring, that the balance of power and economic development in Nigeria is so tilted towards one particular region. And therefore, it is giving fertilization to people agitating for either restructuring or secession. What is the problem from your perspective?
Thank you, Mr. Joe. The problem we're having in Nigeria is a general phenomenon for every Nigerian to ponder about. And when we were under military rule, we know we were under decree. But since 1999 that we went back to democracy, it is our belief that we are in democracy. They call it government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We saw how we can see how it is operating in other parts of the world, particularly the American system, federal system we try to imitate. But unfortunately for Nigeria, when the military left, they left a structure that will continue to benefit them. Because when some certain part of Nigeria is saying that they've been marginalized, I can assure you, to be the president is not the only way that you can be served in Nigeria. So maybe, quote unquote, there has not been an Igbo man who is the commander-in-chief of Nigeria in the recent year. Maybe that's the reason why they are feeling they are being marginalized. But in general, every Nigeria is being marginalized based on the constitution that they are operating in Nigeria right now.
Okay, let's take it from the how Nigeria is operating the federal system. The 1963 constitution guarantees that federal system of government, which stipulates that every state or region have to develop according to their own pace. And that's why the western world, the western part of Nigeria, eastern part of Nigeria, and the northern region, they call it region then, where they had the freedom to develop with their resources. But the military came and it turned, rather than being federal, it became something like a unitary system. And since 1999 that we had this return to civilian rule or democratic rule, that attitude is still in place, whereby the federal government has all wherewithal that the states and local government panders to the federal. And as a result, I can see some governors say they are running to Abuja to look for funds, which of course in the federal system is not supposed to be so. And some argument says that's the reason why people feel they are marginalized or people feel that they are being mistreated in the system. Is that correct?
That's not the reason for marginalization. Now, marginalization, when you said, is when you are not being involved in the governance or in the government activity of your country or a certain section of the country is not being involved. Now, those state governors that is running to Abuja for fund and so on, they are representative of their various states. So not that somebody from the north is being the leader of the state, or maybe you don't bring somebody from the north to be the leader of Eastern State or Western State. But one thing I know is that every Nigerian right now, particularly from middle class downward in Nigeria, are being marginalized because the few elite that have access to power, you just look at it since 1999, you see how they've been duplicating themselves. The same set of people are the one in government. This is a House of Senate right now. They say you have over 31 former governors and deputy governor in the place.
Again, so, one I can say that for sure. The reason the agitation, first of all, is that the central government is very promising. There's a lot of fertile ground for people to enrich themselves, and power comes from the central government, and that's why every effort is made to have to be in the central government. And you see it when Jonathan, who was from the South, became the president of Nigeria. He used that to a kind of to assist, or in quote and unquote, his people, enable them. Then when Buhari came now, there's this accusation that the Northerners are being enabled. So whether the marginalization is not, perhaps is part of the argument, but the core argument is that when power is too much concentrated in the central use it the way they want, and that's why you find that if a Northerner is the president of Nigeria, there's no agitation in the north. It comes to the southeast or southwest. When the southwest produces a president, it becomes the agitation goes to the north or the southeast. I'll give you an example. Obasanjo was the president of Nigeria for 8 years. The OPC became too silent. The agitation was in the south, Dokubo and all the rest. And there was no crisis in the southwest. Now, Yar'Adua became president, the north became silent, and the southwest became also silent. Where was the noise from? From the south. When Jonathan was president, there was no riot or no agitation in the south. It was in the north. Now Buhari became president, no more noise from the north. It's now in the southeast. So you see, if the powers is concentrated up there, the people now believe that it is used for them. But if it is the real federal structure where each region or state is have to develop with their resources, there will not be any problem. In America, I don't see any reason why Arizona governor should go to Washington to go and meet Trump. And that's what people are asking for in Nigeria. Yeah. It's not the question. Marginalization is the second part, but the core issue is that the federal system as practiced in Nigeria is not the right thing.
100%. The federal system, like I said earlier, when the military were leaving, they left what they call constitution, which is not actually a constitution. They just perpetuate the system in a way that it will continue to benefit them and benefit their allied. That's what we have in India, and since 1999 it has been helping them, and you find out that the same set of people are recycling themselves, their friend in power.
What do you
now the main point here is this. Even though if we have a restructuring that Nigeria is agitating for today, we still have to renew our mind towards governance, because we're talking about the center. What about the state? Right now, a lot of states, were supposed to have 3 levels of government in democracy, right?
Yes.
Now we are talking about power being concentrated in the center. What about the state, the second level?
Because people believe.
How are they treating the local government?
Okay, people believe that every fund comes from Abuja.
Now, it's true that in the sharing scale that they have right now, there is a certain amount that goes to the state.
Yes.
There is a certain amount that goes to the local government.
Yes.
Right? But when the state gets the money for the local government, they never dispatch it to the local government.
I tell you one other reason for that. Because Nigeria have become too passive and insensitive to corruption and maladministration. Nigerians they don't mind what government is doing anymore. Because, like you said, and I blame that on the fact that Nigerians don't pay tax. Taxation, let me tell you something. Taxation without representation is terrible. If people pay tax, then they will now feel entitled that their government must fulfill the obligation. I've never seen a system that does not encourage taxation. Nigerians don't pay tax, and therefore they see government as being far removed from them. Let them do whatever they like. After all, it's not our money. But if they pay tax, it will become their money, and they will decide how it is spent.
You see, we're talking about the people doesn't pay tax.
Yes.
Now, the government and the system doesn't even encourage them to pay tax.
Yes.
And secondly, what is the government, even as of today, what are they doing for the citizens?
That's what I'm saying.
Now,
the argument is this,
the public schools,
because there's the oil money that comes from Abuja.
Even the oil money that comes from Abuja doesn't even trickle down to most of the people. No more public schools are not functioning.
Yes.
People that teach in elementary school can't send their children to the same elementary school.
Okay, look at it. This is what I just said, that's why Nigerians are becoming insensitive, because they feel that it's not their money. Look at a state like Imo State that cannot pay workers for how many months? Teachers, civil servants, and the roads are bad. Look at the cake that a governor celebrated his 50th birthday in a country where people cannot guarantee
sir,
and therefore people cannot even protest. Let
me tell you one thing.
Yes.
The issue of cake is secondary, because if a governor is we all like high service. In Nigeria, money always go to where money is. An individual can contribute their own personal money to make that cake for the governor. Not even the governor spending his money on it. We all know that. All those ashwebi you see when people are doing, look at the rich when they are doing stuff. You see people wearing different type of ashwebi. It's their personal money, right? It's their personal money. Some of the people doesn't even know where the ashwebi is coming from.
What do you say of a government who cannot tie 10-kilometer road, 10 kilometer of road in 8 years of governance? So what do you say of that? Is that the responsible government? Is the fact that you are responsible to the people, you are responsible to the people, you are accountable to the people. Our government in Nigeria, both state, local government and federal, is not accountable to the people. And you know why that is being fertile? It is because people don't care anymore. Government does whatever they like.
You see, the intervention of military rule in Nigeria has really robbed the people of so many duty of citizens. So as a result of that, now, who are we talking about now? We are talking about people who were born into the military throughout their entire life. They are in their 40s now. They never knew any government apart from the military. So when they were growing up I
think we are hiding under that's the excuse for failure.
Okay, you can only do what is practical, what you see people doing. Now, let me ask you one thing, sir. Many of us, we came from Nigeria to this country, right?
Yes.
When we came here, we were not taught or educated on how to fall in line according to rules and regulations. Because there's a system. Yes. So in Nigeria, there has never been a system. There is no system, there is no structure. So a lot of people now in their 40s.
Doing when they don't have structure?
You see, the people that were agitating for structure in those days, the military has silenced many of them. Many of them have even died.
But the military is not the government right now.
The military is not the government, but this is the ripple effect that we are seeing right now.
I was a student union leader
Let me tell you a typical.
We opened the prison in 1986.
That was then because OAU was still OAU. Obafemi Awolowo University was still Obafemi Awolowo University during your time. Or most of the university were still university during your time. You understand? There were no ASU strike at a Lami rate the way it is now during your time.
Okay, ASU members, are they not Nigerians?
Listen, let me tell you one thing.
Those people that agitated all the time, they are Nigerians.
These people are all agitating for their pocket. The people that are agitating now are agitating for their pocket.
So your argument now gives me a sense that there's no hope for Nigeria.
There is hope for Nigeria.
So how do we get that?
There is hope for Nigeria. But it's not through this noise that we are making. You understand me now? We need to go back to the town hall system where people are well educated, let them know their right, and let them know what the government want to do for them. Then the constitution, we have to redraft another constitution that work for Nigeria.
That's a long way to go. It tells me that my grandchildren will not see.
No, it's not. It's not a long. It's not a long way to go.
Talking about education. Yeah. Nigerians are very educated. Look at social media. Look at Facebook. Look at Twitter. Look at Instagram. Every day I open it, Nigerians have opinion on every matter as it concerns them. They're always writing, they're always agitating. But put that into effect and make your representative responsible and accountable. Nobody is doing that. Because we are very, very insensitive right now towards our representatives. Nobody cares anymore. As long as I was telling my colleagues in Nigeria that day, they said, well, that's the way we have to live our country, or else we'll die young. We have to watch Arsenal, watch Manchester United, drink one bottle of beer and sleep. And that's the way it is. Yeah. And if we have that attitude, Nigeria is done.
It's already. Because even when you try to mobilize people, your own wife, your own relative, they will come at maybe 5 a.m. and tell you, listen, they will name thousands of people.
No, that has always been the case. When I was a senior union leader in OAU, my parents told me we borrowed money to send you to school, so be quiet. Nobody told us we can't be quiet. We opened up the prison.
Yeah, because
then if we have to make the government, the state ungovernable. And let me tell you something. We were the ones that forced Babangida out of Lagos because he's going to be a cycle.
So I was talking to one of my cousins back home that, listen, as a youth, you guys have to get organized, get involved in your environment. Not politics.
The youths are so disorganized
now. This is what he told me.
Yes.
He said actually they have a kind of organization going on, doing some environmental and other kind of stuff. That when each time there was a time they went to the local government chairman and tried to demand some services for their community constituency there, right? He said, the guy listened to them and he said, okay, he will get back to them. Eventually, he went back to a few leaders in the group, gave them money, and when the day he promised that he would get back to them, they went to the house of the leader. The leader was not available.
I'm not surprised.
Everybody were just making excuses.
I'm not surprised about that because a hungry man can be manipulated.
Thank you.
That's the truth because they use that weapon against Nigeria.
So that's one of the major weapons that is still affecting the country.
If you have a good character, if somebody gives you money, it should not make you say what is not.
That was in those days. Even the student union you are talking about.
Yeah.
Was your student union president? Does he have a personal car?
No, but today it is the attitude.
Now today, most of the student union, before they become president.
Okay, it's a very good topic, Mr. Abadewa. We won't have enough time to say that, and I want to thank you for coming. We will have the second part of this program to discuss the restructuring or secession. Is it possible for Nigeria for secession to take place or negotiated on the table or forced? And if that's the case, what is the strategy? I will bring you back again so that we discuss that. Because it is something that we have to do. Again, some of us who are outside the country, we need to also help in setting agenda. It's not for us to just criticize.
Oh, for sure.
Thank you very much. Viewers, that's what we have for you on Political Arena. Remember to tune in to our station and meet us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm yours sincerely, Joe Ehizode, signing off and say have a good night rest. Bye-bye.